episode, I think it's 251. Might be 252. I might have to change it later. Of Genius Take the Wheel. I'm actually beating my feet in the streets of New York right now. Today completed my 42nd trip around the sun. And it's kind of weird, you know. I put up a post on social media today showing a comparison photo between me now and me 11 years ago. And I'm actually quite in awe of what I've been able to achieve. I mean, you know, most of my gains have come in the last 2+ years. I'd probably say 26, 27 months. But, you know, to see, you know, what I look like on Mrs. Evil's graduation day in 2014 and seeing, you know, the fruits of my labor and a lot of the you know, just seeing a lot of, you know, what I've achieved. I have to say I'm pretty proud of where I am. Not just like for my physique, but also in life. What street am I on? Oh, so I got one more to go. So, how did I celebrate? I celebrated, I guess, with a really great leg day. I mean, it's Sunday, right? You know, the gains never stop. I don't know, I'm just really, you know, thinking about, you know, getting into one of those contemplative states. I suspect that a lot of people, on the day that that age number turns, they start thinking about where they came from, where they are, and where they project themselves to be. And, you know, I'm very proud of the progress that I've made in the last 2 or so years, no doubt. But there's still that fear that, you know, the aging process will start to take its toll. And it doesn't seem like I'll be able to, I don't think I'm going to be able to still be competitive in this fight against Father Time. But I'm winning these rounds right now. It's really hard not to think about the future. You know, I'd like to think that I can continue to be better and to feel better, you know, as I get older. But there's not a whole lot of prior art to support that is the likely outcome. But I have defied the odds plenty in the past couple of years. You know, I had a lot of bad back pain in my 30s, and I don't have back pain at all. In fact, I'm much stronger now in my 40s than I was in my 30s. So it is a very strange position to be in. And, you know, I'm very proud of what I have accomplished in this life. But I am, I'm a little bit worried about, what happens when I start to go in the opposite direction. I can't shake that, my dad used to always say that he was happy being broke because, if somebody should do something to him, physically or financially, he's not really falling that far. I've built myself up a lot in my life. And, if I should, start to regress, how will I handle that, But, there's something that's telling me that I should continue to live in the here and now because the gains just keep on coming. So the autopsy on today's training, which I do here, I give you guys the updates every week, at least twice a week, is I continued on my quest to get better and more confident at 255 pounds on the barbell back squat. And I felt a lot better today. I felt very good last week, but I felt even better today. I don't know if I was just in a better physical, I don't know if I felt better physically, or was it, a mental strength that I may not have had. But today I just kind of sailed through things rather easily. It's a little bit. I had to make sure that I had the right amount of weight on the bar. I'm like, really? I was able to do this today, like this? But I hit the 2 sets of 6 at 255 rather easily. And then I followed up with 2 sets of 6 at 225 rather easily. It was almost like I was wasting my time, which means that next Sunday I'll be adding another rep to the sets. And I think that my exponential growth on, the squat and the deadlift and what have you is not necessarily because my muscle fibers are stronger or larger, not necessarily, but I think that my neurological understanding of what the barbell back squat is supposed to be is the driving force behind why I'm progressing so far, this deep into my, my training cycle in life. And I'm so happy to think about as we get to the car now. Here we go. Finally own it. All right, so let me pop this bag into the trunk, continue this conversation. Probably should just put this bag in the passenger seat, but it's no big deal. Front seat, trunk, who gives a fuck, right? I coach people every week, and I have found that over the years, I have so much more pride in people understanding the movements. I have so much more pride. And there's a top going down. I have so much pride, so much more pride in people learning the movement than simply getting stronger or, lifting more weight. Sometimes the outcome is not as important as what you learn from the lessons in those journeys. And I'm finding that out. Obviously, as a coach, I get a deeper and better understanding of that concept the more people I work with and the more people that I kind of help matriculate through understanding what they're doing and why they're doing it. But I'm also learning these things within myself, understanding quality of movement pattern and how important that is, rather than so much how much weight is lifted. And then as I kind of shifted my focus away from just trying to lift the most weight all the time, it allowed me to learn how to move better, and then I stack more weight on top of that. So it is a lot of pride that I have, not just in how much weight I'm able to squat, especially since I hate squatting. I hate squatting. But I have a lot of pride in how much progress I've been able to make while squatting, and then taking the benefits of what I learned from squatting and use them to make my other lifts better, to take the principles that I learned and apply them to other lifts, take the strength that I get from it, the confidence that I get from it, and make those things better. And so me hitting 2 sets of 6 at 255 followed by 2 sets of 6 at 225, it's not really a PR because I did achieve that last week, but the ease of how I was able to do it, how much I was able to keep my mind very slow. I didn't panic at all. I wasn't worried that I wouldn't get up from the bottom. I was able to keep the tension at the bottom in full control, not leaning to the left or the right with the bar on my back. Not being so nervous that I grip the bar so tight that I end up making my forearms making my forearms cramp up. So yeah, the squat was very easy today, and I'm very thankful for that. Today I added 2 reps. I was feeling so good today. I added 2 reps to the deep, slow leg press. Last week I did 3 sets of 10 at 405. Today I did 3 sets of 12 at 405. And it was exceedingly easy. It was so easy, I almost lost count of my reps. And I'm thinking, wow, I remember when I used to struggle at this weight about a year ago. To even get to 3 or 5 reps. And now I'm just casually pumping out 12s like it's a waste of my time. That realization really fills me with joy. Pause. So the leg press was exceedingly easy. And so since I was able to get to 3 sets of 12, next week, my little extra that I kind of put in there after squatting on Sundays, I'm going to go up to 455 for 3 sets of 6. And I'm just going to just leisurely move that up. 455 is my lower weight, my lower working weight on Wednesdays, and now moving up to that. So very quickly, I will be moving up in weight on my heavy leg press day, and that will be very cool. Currently, I'm very close to getting to the end of what I want to achieve at 495. So that's 5 plates. So I'll be moving up to 455 on the so-called easy leg press day. On the hard leg press day, I think I'm going to be going to 545 on my top end, and then come down to 495 for the low end on the heavy day. And I'll probably drop to like, sets of 6 or what have you. So, I mean, actually, I have to look at my notebook to see, but I know very soon I'll be moving up to 545 on my heavy leg press day. I just moved up to 315 on the hack squat on Wednesday. So PRs on top of PRs, things are working out so well. I have very minimal pain and discomfort, very, very minimal. Most days I have no pain at all. And how is this happening, at age 42 when I was in so much pain at age 35? I don't have those answers. But I know that the muscle keeps coming. I know that the PRs keep coming. I'm just going to just keep rolling with it. So to go from 3 sets of 10 at 405 to 3 sets of 12 probably means that I haven't been working as hard as I can, but also I'm feeling pretty excellent today compared to other days. So that could also be a factor. Moving on to the deadlift, I decided that I was going to move up in repetitions at 335 in the deadlift and add an extra rep, which now brings me to a total of 36 repetitions, 4 sets of 9. And it was a little bit easier than I expected, but I guess it's just that I'm in a really good mental space. And I think that probably has more to do with it than anything. For all I know, I could start struggling with this amount of volume next week. I don't know. But I'm happy I was able to perform well today. So I hit the 4 sets of 9 with really very little intrepidation. I started to get a hint of lightheadedness after, I want to say it was set 2. So I basically took my time, ate some gummy candy to kind of, get rid of that lightheaded feeling. And then I don't want to say I breezed through the deadlift, but by comparison, I kind of breezed through the deadlift. The leg extension was a lot easier than it's been normally, even though I'm adding reps. I'm up to 3 sets of 10 at 190. So I think on Wednesday I'll go to 3 sets of 11 there. There is still a little bit of a struggle on the prone or the lying down leg curl, but I was able to hit the 3 sets of 10 after the deadlift. So I think I'm going to try to go for 3 sets of 11 on Wednesday. I think I'm going to try it. Why not, right? Why not? So today was free and easy. I'm continuing to just keep plotting my course, making sure that I am writing down everything in my workouts, making sure that I'm keeping good track of what's going on. And, sometimes I make game time decisions on whether I'm going to take chances in the gym or not, or if I'm just going to kind of stay put to, feel confident and stable in what I'm doing before moving up in some way. These days, I've been able to move up really, really quickly. And it's like I'm recovering very well on 2 leg days a week. I'm starting to get the size that I'm looking for in the legs. I am making some steady progress in the chest. The arms have been, changing shape, so I'm happy with that. I just need to get a little tighter, a little bit leaner as we go into the summertime. I think we got like 20 more days before we hit the summer solstice. So I'm controlling my diet and really only eating extra calories when a bite of a granola bar won't take enough of the edge off. But for the most part, I'm limiting my caloric intake and just sticking to the things that are going to get me the look that I want for the summertime. So I'm still not there yet, but I don't like the fact that I have to lose weight because I'll probably end up going under 200 pounds body weight. I don't like that. I want to stay above 200, but it's just kind of part of the cycle of, doing, minor cuts. And then, in the fall period, doing some moderate bulking. So coming down from the bulk that I ended in February. So the weight's going to come down a little bit. But, the strength endurance is still pretty fucking good. So I have really nothing to complain about. I just don't want to see the number 1 preceded by a number 9 again. I always want to stay above 200 pounds. But that's not the way it works. So I'll probably drop down probably as low as 197 before I get to where I want to be. Before I start adding more calories again in the fall. But I feel really good. I think I was talking to Mrs. Evil about this. She has lost so much weight. Her figure has gotten a lot tighter, and she's nearing age 40. I'm now at, I'm 42 years old and still putting on muscle at this rate. It's unfathomable. Like I've been in the fitness industry for well over a decade now, and everything that I've heard is, in your 40s, testosterone is going to drop off. You're not going to be able to, build muscle. And they have these special programs for trying to build muscle after age 40. I just work fucking hard every day. I try to limit my days off. And I just try to keep pushing the envelope in strength and or strength endurance every fucking time I get in the gym. I do the things that I don't want to do so I can get the physique and the strength level that I want to achieve. And I think we were lied to. Does this mean if you're like age 22, you should wait until you're 39 like I did? No. I don't think you should do that. But just know that, like, turning 40 or 42 as I have, it ain't the end if you're willing to work hard and be disciplined and eat like a human being and not like a Dyson vacuum. And I don't know when my body is going to quit and say, you know what, this is the end. I don't know when that's going to be. But for now, I'm going to keep pushing towards my hypertrophy goals, my volume goals. And in the fall, I'm going to start upping the calories again and putting more weight on the bar to deadlift. So I even felt like I could have done 4 sets of 10 on the deadlift today. I felt like I probably could have done it. So I might give that a try next week, or I might stay at 4 sets of 9 at 335. I don't know. But it's really crazy for me to be looking at being able to deadlift 365 for sets of 6 and 7 when I was barely able to do 3 at the end of December. So I'm very happy. I thought that I had a little bit of a delusional goal to hit a 500-pound deadlift. And as I keep working, I start to understand that a 500-pound deadlift is not out of the cards for me. I think that I will end up hitting the 1,000-pound club. I will end up hitting the 1,000-pound club eventually. And I'm pretty proud of that. Very happy with that. So guys, have hope, but also understand that you have to have the intestinal fortitude to do the work. Like, I think that a lot of people that I see out there, they have a birthday, they go out there, they get drunk, they get high, they, eat gluttonously. Somebody asked me yesterday, what are you going to do for your birthday? I said, it's leg day. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to try to destroy the bar. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to continue to try to make myself better. And, I did not do the bench press today because I wanted to kind of conserve strength. But I think tomorrow, I'm going to see, if I'm able to, recover enough where I feel pretty good. I think tomorrow I'm going to try to get 2 clean sets of 12 on the bench press at 225. And of course, if I'm able to do that, the following time I hit the bench press, I'm going to go for 2 sets of 6 at 245 pounds. And then build that up until I probably go to 265 after that for hypertrophy reps. And I think one of the things I'd like to be able to achieve is to go past my strength numbers from December, January, go past my strength numbers at a heavier weight for hypertrophy. Because, my strength numbers in the wintertime, I think I topped out at 3 sets of 5 at 245 pounds on the bench press. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to get my hypertrophy sets to be, by the time I go back to strength, I want to get my hypertrophy sets above the weight that I used to do for strength. I will feel really good about that. And of course, if you're constantly pushing the envelope and you are, hitting it the way you're supposed to hit it, you will end up, gaining more muscle. And one of the cool things about it is you will also be gaining strength at the same time. And that's really the holy grail. That's what really makes you feel good when you leave the gym. So I'm just going to continue to keep pushing the envelope, making sure that I eat, that I rest, that I surround myself with good people, people that care about me, keep taking care of my body, just keep moving the envelope. That's what I'm going to do. And that's why I titled this stream, I'm aging like Benjamin Button, aging backwards. The older I get, the stronger, the tighter I get, the better I look. Insane. Absolutely insane. But anyway, I'm going to figure out what I'm going to eat post-training. And it's probably going to be high protein, moderate carbs. I got to figure out what I'm going to eat. And again, I hope that, this gives you guys a lot of hope. Even the ladies, it's not too late to get your dream body. It's never too late. I work with people over age 70 making progress. It ain't over until you say it's over. It's not over until you give up or give in. Don't give up, don't give in. Embrace the hard work. Embrace the discomfort. Embrace the suck. Definitely do that. You will get what you want. All right, time to go find out what I'm going to eat. I will probably see you guys on Wednesday. And I'll let you guys know if I hit my goal on Monday or Tuesday with the bench press. Yeah. Well, let me get out of here. Talk to y'all later. Peace.